The disappearance of former Chinese Foreign Minister Qin Gang shocked China and abroad half a year ago. Over the past few days, it has again become a hot media discussion topic. Does the official announcement made by the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, mean that Qin Gang is still alive? Is the inside information rumored to have come from the CCP military top echelon true? Let's now connect the dots and investigate Qin Gang's life and death mystery. On February 27, 2024, the Standing Committee of the 14th National People's Congress, NPC, issued its third announcement. It declared a series of changes to several NPC delegates. One change has drawn the attention of the media. That is, the Standing Committee of the Tianjin Municipal People's Congress has decided to accept Qin Gang's resignation from his position as a delegate to the 14th National People's Congress. The news immediately hit the headlines of all major media outlets and became the focus of online public opinion for a simple reason. Does this announcement by the CCP official mean that Qin Gang is still alive? Does it mean the CCP wants to dispel the rumors in its official form directly? Before exploring the question, let's briefly review who Qin Gang is and how the news reported his death a while ago. Qin Gang, 57, was once China's youngest foreign minister in over half a century and was seen as a rising political star promoted by Xi Jinping. But he turned out to be the Communist Party's most short-lived foreign minister since the CCP regime took power in China. Qin has served in China's diplomatic system for more than 30 years. He served as a foreign ministry spokesman in his early years and was known by some as the Wolf Warrior for his many sharp retorts to the West's skepticism of China. When he was chief of protocol at the foreign ministry, he was regarded as Xi's trusted aide and accompanied him on many foreign trips. This seemed to propel him up the career ladder. From 2021 to 2022, he was sent to Washington, D.C. as ambassador to the U.S., where his style became relatively toned down in an attempt to ease tensions between China and the U.S. He was then rocketed to the position of foreign minister in late 2022, and in March 2023, he was promoted again to the position of state counselor. In July 2023, the Chinese government suddenly announced that Qin had been removed as foreign minister and replaced by his predecessor, Wang Yi. Qin had only been in office for 7 months at that time. This was seen as one of the biggest political surprises in China in years. The first official report of Qin Gang's death was on December 6, 2023, by the European version of the Politico news site, one of the more serious U.S. political outlets. Regarding the disappearance and death of Qin Gang, this is how the story was reported. While the world is distracted by war in the Middle East and Ukraine, a Stalin-like purge is sweeping through China's ultra-secretive political system, with profound implications for the global economy and even the prospects for peace in the region. On June 25th this year, barely 6 months after becoming minister, Qin held meetings in Beijing with the foreign ministers of Sri Lanka and Vietnam, as well as Deputy Russian Foreign Minister Andrei Rudenko. Then, he vanished. According to several people with access to high-level Chinese officials, Rudenko's real mission in Beijing was to inform Xi that his foreign minister and several top officers in the PLA had been compromised by Western intelligence agencies. Following his disappearance, lurid tales emerged of Qin's affair with a reporter for the Chinese broadcaster Phoenix TV called Fu Zhaotian, with whom he allegedly fathered a son who is a U.S. citizen. The story circulated widely online with the apparent consent of Chinese cyber censors. According to several people with access to top officials, the real reason for his abrupt disappearance was Qin's involvement in a much more serious scandal involving the defense minister and the generals who commanded China's rocket force, which oversees the country's nuclear weapons program. China's nuclear weapons program has massively expanded in recent years, and according to people with access to top Chinese officials, Russian Deputy Minister Rudenko's message to Xi included allegations that Qin and relatives of top rocket force officers had helped pass Chinese nuclear secrets to Western intelligence agencies. Two of these people claimed that Qin died, either from suicide or torture, in late July in the military hospital in Beijing that treats China's top leaders. The second report is from the Washington Post on February 12, 2024. This article quoted a U.S. government official as the source of information that Qin Gang had attempted to commit suicide when he saw evidence that his secret lover, Fu Zhaotian, was a foreign spy. This is the direct cause of why Qin Gang was admitted to Hospital 301. However, the article didn't mention or confirm whether Qin Gang had died in the hospital, but it at least filled in an important piece of the puzzle as to why Qin Gang was in Hospital 301. All in all, the two reports in Politico and the Washington Post, one sourced from a high-level source within the CCP, the other from a U.S. government official, both mention two identical and important pieces of information. First, Fu Zhaotian is a British spy. Second, Qin Gang had been admitted to Hospital 301 for reasons related to suicide or torture. The difference is that Politico said Qin was dead, while the Washington Post didn't mention whether Qin was dead. Qin Gang's political and social death is no longer in doubt, but has he died physically too? Such a possibility not only exists but is very high, except that the conclusive evidence hasn't yet been made public. According to the habitual propaganda strategy of the CCP authorities, if Qin Gang is still alive, it is unlikely that the CCP authorities would let the rumors fly. They would at least imply or coerce Qin Gang's family to release the information that Qin Gang is still alive. But so far, we've seen no such information. Against this background, let us look at the announcement of Qin Gang's resignation just made by the NPC. This announcement also included several other people's job changes, including the direct dismissal of one individual and the acceptance of the resignations of 4 individuals, including Qin Gang. Why make this announcement suddenly now? Obviously, the 2 sessions, China's annual parliament meeting, will be held in early March. The authorities must go through the formality to terminate the NPC delegates in question so that their replacements can legitimately participate in the 2 sessions. At the same time, the authorities must also give an account of the whereabouts of Qin Gang. The focus of public opinion is on the wording of the announcement that the Tianjin NPC Standing Committee has accepted Qin's resignation. So what's the difference between being removed and accepting resignation? According to the same explanation given by CCP authorities, removal is mainly due to suspicion of committing a crime or serious negligence, while resignation is due to 3 circumstances. 1, loss of representation in the representative structure due to a change in the job. 2, inability to continue to fulfill the duties of office due to health conditions. And 3, committing a serious mistake that has a negative impact on the public. Qin Gang has fulfilled all 3 conditions. He was dismissed from his post as Minister of Foreign Affairs, admitted to the 301 hospital, and committed a serious mistake. But does this mean Qin Gang is still alive? Well, not really. All we have seen is the announcement of Qin's resignation. But when did Qin resign, and when did the Tianjin People's Congress accept his resignation? We can't find any information, so it could have been in late February or late June 2023. But the NPC only announced it now, so it doesn't mean Qin Gang is still alive. If the government wanted to dispel the rumor of Qin's death, it could have done so squarely when there was a huge public outcry about Qin's death reported by Politico in 2023. Qin Gang was removed as NPC delegate by way of resignation, not by way of removal. Can this be interpreted to mean that Qin Gang has been given lenient treatment? Normally in the CCP's official circles, those who are removed are formally investigated or imply that they will be investigated. In contrast, those who resign are given a lighter sentence or a normal resignation. But let's think about this. What is the nature of Qin's case? No matter how many versions of Qin's story are in the formal media or online rumors, the two core messages are the same. Fu Zhaotian is a spy. Qin is involved in a major leak case. Given the nature of the case, is it possible for Qin to be pardoned by Xi Jinping, exempted from investigation, and live the rest of his life in peace? Speaking of the seriousness of Qin's involvement in the leak case, we can take a peek at another piece of news. On February 27, 2024, Xi Jinping signed Order of the Chairman No. 20. It reads, "The law of the People's Republic of China on the preservation of state secrets has been formally amended and passed by the NPC Standing Committee today and shall be promulgated immediately. It shall come into effect on May 1, 2024. Can you see it, folks? Is it a coincidence that on the same day that Qin Gang, who is suspected of major leaks, was announced to have resigned from his post as a delegate, Xi Jinping also announced the latest revision of the state secrets law? Obviously, the CCP is trying to mend its ways and prevent the recurrence of incidents such as Qin Gang and the Rocket Force. As expected, after the announcement of Qin Gang's resignation was made, internal news came out from senior officers within the CCP military. According to the source, an overview of the Qin Gang case has just been conveyed to the senior officers within the military. The main message is Qin's case was reported by Fu Zhaotian. Qin Gang wanted to change his illegitimate child with Fu Zhaotian to the Chinese nationality. It was something very important to him because his career would be jeopardized otherwise, and he would become a target of his political rivals. But Fu Zhaotian refused flatly and insisted on keeping the child's American nationality. As a result, the relationship between the two became strained, and Qin Gang began to distance himself from Fu. After many unsuccessful attempts to communicate with Qin Gang, Fu thought that their relationship was irreparable, so she finally reported him to the authority for revenge. Qin Gang was keeping a mistress. It eventually resulted in his fall. But in the end, the CCP gave Qin Gang lenient treatment, allowing him to resign from his post as a delegate to the NPC, National People's Congress, so as to save some face. To summarize, Qin has committed misconduct, and it has nothing to do with the national security issue. Don't you find it a bit hard to believe when you read this revelation? The reality is that no senior military officer in the CCP who was informed of his case was convinced that this was the ultimate truth of Qin Gang's case. If a senior vice state official who Xi Jinping has personally promoted is brought down without regard to the international image of Xi Jinping, only because Qin Gang kept a mistress and gave birth to an illegitimate child, anyone with a little bit of common sense of the CCP regime will know that this is a joke. According to our understanding of the operating mechanism of the CCP, the more the CCP authorities put up a pretense of taking things lightly, the more disastrous is the truth behind it. Such internal communication precisely shows that the CCP is trying its best to cover up the truth behind Qin Gang's case, even within the party and the military. What the CCP has done had the opposite effect. It shows that once the true inside story of Qin Gang's case is made public, it will be extremely destructive. So the erotic scandal is deliberately amplified to interfere with public perception. In the spying case, the CCP has always been merciless and unforgiving. Here are some examples. Example 1. Yu Quanchang, former director of the North American Intelligence Department and director of Foreign Affairs Bureau of the CCP's National Security Bureau, was assassinated by the CCP in 1986 after fleeing to Latin America because he defected to the United States and exposed the CCP's spy, Jin Wuji. Example 2. Liu Liankun, Major General and former Minister of Ordnance of the General Logistics Department of the PLA, was executed by a CCP military tribunal. His crime was collaborating with the enemy after Taiwan, the Republic of China, flipped him. He supplied Taiwan's military intelligence with vital military information. The CCP regards the United States as the mastermind of the Western anti-China forces and the nemesis of the CCP. The CCP is even more furious at spies who defect to the U.S. In 2017 and 2018, the New York Times, Voice of America, and other media outlets have reported on several occasions that the CCP killed or detained nearly 20 U.S. Central Intelligence Agency informants from 2010 to 2012, undermining the U.S.'s years-long network of intelligence gathering in China, and that one of the informants was killed in front of his colleagues in the courtyard of a government building to terrorize others. If Qin Gang, along with the Rocket Force, had sold information to the U.S., the CCP would naturally show no mercy, even though he was once Xi's favorite man. Moreover, this kind of internal scandal was revealed to Xi Jinping through Russians. It's inevitable to have undermined Xi's authority. In this line of logic, is anything close to the truth? We need to ask why Qin Gang, who had a bright future ahead of him, defected to the U.S. We'll continue our analysis in a follow-up episode.